Now everywhere around, minor explosions of happiness happens because it has been a visual event of happiness everywhere. Let these explosions of happiness happen every time. Welcome once again to News Analysis. News Analysis, a weekly magazine on current affairs. To begin with the main points in a nutshell. Russia joins Poland in mourning plane crash victims. Sania Mirza and Pakistan cricket star marry earlier than scheduled. GSLV D3 launched didn't prove to be as successful. Ash from volcano in Iceland cancels all flights to London. Devastating earthquake 7.1 in the Richter hits China's mainland. Obama sets Mars goal for America. The news in detail. Somalia's Al-Shabaab bans Christian school bells. Islamist militants Al-Shabaab have banned teachers using bells to signal the end of class in the town of Jowhar, 90 kilometers north of Mogadishu. Al-Shabaab said the bells sounded too much like Christian church bells. This comes after last week's order by the Hizbul Islam group that radio stop playing music because it's un-Islamic. Polls close in Sudan's first elections in 2 decades. Polling in Sudan's landmark elections has officially ended after 5 days. The elections are the first multi-party polls in the country since 1986 and are part of a North-South peace deal which ended 2 decades of war in 2005. But the presidential, parliamentary and local polls have also been marred by voting irregularities and alleged rigging. Russia joins Poland in mourning plane crash victims. Poland is marking its second day of national mourning for 96 victims of Saturday's plane crash in western Russia. The Polish President Lech Kaczynski, his wife, parliamentarians, security chiefs and the governor of the National Bank were all killed in the crash. The Polish government plane was carrying leaders from across the national public life who had been due to attend a memorial for the Polish victims of World War II massacre by the Soviet secret police at Katyn in Smolensk region. The Russian President Dmitry Medvedev had declared Monday an official day of mourning, with flags flying at half-mast and television channels cancelling all entertainment programs. The Polish foreign minister said the whole country is crying now. He refused to comment anything on the possible cause of the incident. He said they will discuss the matter with the Russian authorities afterwards. The president's body was returned to Poland on Sunday. Indian tennis star Sania Mirza has married Pakistani cricketer Shoaib Malik at a ceremony in the southern Indian city of Hyderabad. The wedding at a city hotel was attended by relatives from both sides. A spokesperson for India's most successful women tennis player said, "The union between two South Asia's top sporting personalities came after Malik divorced another woman last week." Receptions are expected in Hyderabad, where Mirza lives, and in Lahore too. Please pray for the newlywed couple, Mirza spokeswoman Ruchira Naik told reporters after the Muslim wedding ceremony, or nikah. She said Mirza was dressed in the same red sari worn by her mother at her own wedding 25 years ago. The tennis star was accompanied by traditional drummers as she left for the wedding venue. Media personnel in Hyderabad said the media was kept away from marriage ceremony, which took place at a luxury hotel, Taj Krishna, Hyderabad. She will support India in everything, and she said she has to take care of her husband also. It's told that the couple will shift to Dubai after that marriage. India's own cryogenic rocket launch not as successful. India's ambitious quest to achieve total independence in cryogenic technology for launching satellite launch vehicles suffered a setback on Thursday, with the indigenous cryogenic engine in a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV-D3 failing to ignite and the vehicle tumbling down into the sea. The mission to put communication satellite GSAT-4 in orbit thus ended in failure. The vehicle, however, was not destroyed in mid-flight as its trajectory was in a safe corridor over the Bay of Bengal. The cryogenic technology is crucial to put heavy satellites in geosynchronous transfer orbit at an altitude of 36,000 kilometers. The Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) was keenly looking forward to this flight because this was the first time that it was flying a GSLV with its own cryogenic engine. Gloom engulfed the Mission Control Center at Sriharikota Spaceport as the mission's failures sank in. ISRO had worked for more than 17 years to develop its own cryogenic engine. The earlier 5 GSLV flights from 2001 to 2007 were powered by Russian cryogenic engines. CPI-M Politburo member Brinda Karat addressing women from various organizations during a rally demand passage for Women's Reservation Bill in the current session of the Lok Sabha at Parliament Street in New Delhi. Sex-based reservation has got its own demerits also. The basic unit of a society most of the time is not an individual but a family. So a family-based socialist endeavors will do more good than the individual sex or caste-based reservations and endeavors. A worker prepares to remove red clothes which were used by red shirts anti-government protesters to cover the top of Democracy Monument in Bangkok. Democracy is the acceptance of the folly or the mediocre option of the majority. The most intellectual decision on any issue cannot be the majority's opinion at any cost. So always a kind of humanitarian, learned, informed autocrat should be the ruler of the world. Mercedes Formula One driver Michael Schumacher signs autographs for fans at the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix in Shanghai. Races and competitions are for non-socialistic setup. When half of the world is suffering, how can we afford to go for a luxurious race like this? Iceland volcano grounded all UK planes, shut every airport and could cost £300 million loss. Ash from an erupting volcano grounded all UK flights yesterday in the West, air travel chaos since Second World War. More than 500,000 travelers were stranded at airports in the first closure of our skies in living memory. Thousands of Britons abroad have no way of getting home because of their lockdown caused by the cloud of volcanic ash being blown south from Iceland. A passenger is seen relaxing as flights have been cancelled at Newcastle International Airport. Air traffic across Britain has been disrupted because of during ash after a volcanic eruption in Iceland. Relaxing without worries till the sky turns blue again is the right option in any disasters. Do we have time? Kingfisher cancels flights and Air India reschedules their flights. Kingfisher Airlines cancelled its flight to London for the second consecutive day on Friday, while Air India reschedules its flights to London, Toronto and New York as airspace was closed over several North European airports due to drifting of ash from volcano in Iceland. Kingfisher flights from New Delhi to London and from London to New Delhi were cancelled. Also, a flight from Mumbai to London and London to Mumbai were also cancelled because of the ash.